Hey kids, welcome back. It's another episode of the Full Album Challenge. We are your hosts. I'm Chili Burns. As far as you know, who are you over there?
I am the magnanimous El Blasto. I don't know what magnanimous means, but it sounds really cool right now.
Sounds pretty smart for a guy wearing a shirt that says "Let's eat trash."
Let's eat trash, and you got to see the rest of this too, and get hit
Oh,
by a car.
that's perfect. Perfect. We might have to include a So for those of you who don't know yet, we have a merch thing on TeePublic. Go in there, check out our shirts and mugs and stuff like that. There's one that features a raccoon pulling a shitty album out of a filthy garbage
Bin.
one of the old timey metal garbage pails, whatever they're called.
Yeah, garbage
Garbage can.
can.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. And the record looks like it's radioactive too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very 80s, very neon colored, like everything else was in the 80s. Ah, those are good times in the 80s.
Oh
All the
yeah.
cocaine you could possibly snort, all the neon colors, all the puffy high tops you could wear. That was fantastic. Sugarborn
Yeah.
everything.
And outside of what we do here is the challenge. We listen to full albums, and depending on whether or not we can make it through the entire thing is what depends on whether is it we pass or fail, or is it the album passes or fails. I mean, it's kind of a mixture of both, I think.
Yeah, I take it
Because
personally if I don't succeed. I take it as my own personal failure. Then again, if the album sucks so bad, fuck them. They failed me. There, that
oh
sounds better to me.
yes, and this week was tough. This week
It
was.
was, dude. This week was fucking brutal. What did we do this week?
Oh man. Okay, so we had Springfield, um, Jimmy Buffett,
Oh,
and Nirvana, Bleach. Nirvana.
yeah. The Jimmy Buffett one. Man, I didn't realize. We'll get into it in a second. I didn't realize how many albums he had put out. Like I went through the list. I listened to it on Spotify. No affiliation, not yet anyway. Although you can check out our podcast there too. But I looked at you can click on the albums, and it was like a talk about a discography. Holy crap! It was forever. Just scrolling, like God dang, guy was a songwriting machine apparently, and rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. I was never a huge fan. More on that later though. But the album we did was, man, it's just so so dorky, but it fits Jimmy Buffett to a T. His brand changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes, and I hope I got latitudes and attitudes not crisscrossed. Anyway, changes in latitudes and or attitude.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. You can mix and match those two words, and it would just mean the exact same thing.
Yeah, it'll be
So
fine. It's the one with Margaritaville on it, which
yes,
if you're
yeah.
a big Jimmy Buffett fan, I think they call our fans parrot heads. I think I hit on it last time when I was somewhere with my brother-in-law and my sister, and he saw a guy with a parrot tattoo on his calf in front of us in line somewhere, and I thought nothing of it. And my brother-in-law goes up to him and says, "Oh, hey, you're a parrot head, huh?" I go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He goes, "Oh, it's a Jimmy Buffett thing." Wow, man. Like, take that, deadheads. Holy shit. Jimmy Buffett
Uh,
fans are getting tattoos too.
I
Damn.
would I would believe that absolutely, because I have a story about Jimmy Buffett fans. It's just like almost everything that we touch on the musical aspect and these bands is like, we both got stories of people that we've met that are total, freaks for these bands, and Jimmy
Yeah,
Buffett
yeah,
fans are a specific breed, let me tell you that. So
yeah.
but
Well, what's your story about him? Now I got to know. That's kind of intriguing to hear another Jimmy Buffett story, which I thought I'd never say in my entire life. But
all
please,
right,
please go
well,
ahead.
let's just get into the challenge right now. We'll
All
start
right.
with old Jimmy B. um Fail. um Fail. It okay. Well, I'll start with the story. So
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett is, he was huge for his own right, for what he did. And I've never really listened to it other than the stuff that you hear on movies and on radio. And Margaritaville is one of the biggest songs in the entire
One
planet.
more fucking time, and the white boy gets it. I swear to God,
Yeah.
I fucking hate that song so much. But please continue before I kill myself.
So I worked with this guy he's a raging drunk. He was a sad person, but he like lived for his vacation once a year,
He
so
was a sad person.
yeah, he's just, he's a very sad drunk. And literally he got bombed every day and came in just looking like shit, and then about
Ugh.
10 o'clock in the morning he'd start hitting his stride, and poor guy, yeah, he was older, he had white hair, everybody called him Gray Squirrel, uh at at work because
That doesn't sound very flattering.
no, but he and his wife were Jimmy Buffett fanatics, so much
Oh,
to the point that he was talking to me about going to see Jimmy Buffett, and they wore diapers so that they didn't have to go to the bathroom and miss any of the show. So that's
God
the
forbid
first
you
time.
miss the song fucking Margaritaville again. Like,
Oh,
sorry, Gray Squirrel, that's when you go to fucking take a shit.
yeah.
Is when Margaritaville comes on.
That's
Walk
when,
away.
yeah, that's when, if I'm stuck in front row at Jimmy Buffett, I'm just gonna piss my pants without a diaper, you
You
know,
might piss on Jimmy Buffett.
and and it just shocked me. I was just like, well, that's both a good idea and a bad idea at the same time. Like, wow, you fucking diaper. Okay, so he just loved Jimmy Buffett. So he's probably considered one of these parrot heads or whatever they call themselves. So if anybody knows exactly what their cult following is, leave it in the comments below, or in whatever you comment on us
Please.
with.
And feel free, like we always say, feel free to hate us. Feel free to say bad things about us. It's okay. We don't mind. It's the internet. Free exchange of ideas. Free exchange of insults if you want to bring those to us, because we're not exactly nice to all the artists that we listen to. But such is life. Music
Yeah,
is, like we say every week. Music is subjective. So
it
like
is.
us or hate us, but leave us the comments.
Yeah, yeah. This is. I mean, I listened, and you may think that fail means that I am bagging on all of everything about Jimmy Buffett. That's not the case. I'm not bagging on fans. We're not bagging on fans. We're not trying to tell people that they're stupid for listening to certain things.
Right.
It's, whatever trips your trigger, that's fine. But I could not do this album. It was absolute dog water. So I failed it, and I got to Margaritaville. But by that time, I realized that it was all the same thing. So it's basically, in my notes here, oh yeah, only made it to Margaritaville and then said, fuck it. And
Yeah, I had to hit the gong.
yeah, I hit the gong. This is country music. I didn't really kind of put two and two together before until I started listening to all the B-sides that, no people like me do not know. I know Margaritaville, and he's probably got a couple other ones that I've heard.
Mm,
But that was the only one that stood out on this album that I knew. This was country music for coastal yuppies. Absolutely. Uh, Most of his music centers around like tropical regions,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's got that vibe of like, if you're on an island somewhere and your entertainment is Jimmy Buffett, is just the greatest thing in the whole fucking planet. And yeah, he sounded like the Hawaiian Kenny Rogers.
Or like Don Ho does country.
I mean, am I wrong? It's basically Kenny Rogers, the country singer from the '80s, with like island stuff. They had tuned drums, or what are those called? The
I
steel
timpanis or
drums.
something like that. Yeah,
I
the
think they're
steel
called
drums.
steel
Yeah,
drums. Yeah,
I
where they
could look
got,
it up on the internets right now. I have the
yeah,
internets open.
go on the
Steel
internet dot web.
drums. Yeah, steel pan.
Steel pan.
Really? Whatever. Google, you must be right because you always are.
Yeah.
You
So
should
that
be gritting your
was
teeth.
incorporated in there, of course, because that's the theme, and that's fine. If they want to, go for that, and I'm sure that if you're in that setting, if you're like down in the Keys of Florida, and you're going to a Jimmy Buffett concert, it's probably going to be a magical time.
There's a lot of
Just
shysters in Florida.
a lot of shysters in Florida. That's right. Especially for a young hockey team, go
Yeah.
down there. Um, but I'm sure it would be a great time because you'd be in the element. But just listening to it here in flyover country is just like, oh, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Nothing got me, just like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool or whatever. It was just like, okay, this is just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
keep going. I was like, yeah, Margaritaville was like, oh yeah, I know this song. Fail.
Yeah, yeah, I think a couple things good you said. Well, one thing that you said is really good is Hawaiian Kenny Rogers. That if we can get the rights to use uh some AI generated portrait of Jimmy Buffett with the caption of Hawaiian Kenny Rogers, that might be a pretty solid T-shirt too. We'll look into that, folks. We'll
Yeah,
look
we'll
into
look
that.
into that one because
Yeah,
yeah, that's
we're not looking to get sued by the Jimmy Buffett estate.
yeah.
But the other thing that you said is that like if you're in that element, if you're in the mood for it, I can picture myself Hawaii or Cancun or whatever, swimming up to a bar, getting a scotch on the rocks or a bourbon or whatever, and if Jimmy Buffett's playing in the background and it's not intrusively loud, it's just kind of ambiance music. I mean, I wouldn't choose to listen to it, but I could see like if I was in that element, okay, it's acceptable. Yeah, go ahead and play all the Jimmy Buffett you want. I don't care. I'm swimming up to a fucking bar. What do I care?
Yeah, it would make sense. And, did he sing two pina coladas, one for each hand?
Well, I couldn't tell you. I'm not as versed as you are apparently in Jimmy Buffett. You're not thinking of the If You Like Pina Coladas song, right? That's not the one. Is that the one you're
No,
thinking of?
no, 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 not the one where he puts an ad in the fucking paper
Right,
about
right. No.
trying to
Yeah.
find somebody. No, this is give me two pina coladas, one for each hand. Let's set sail with Captain Morgan, but we'll never reach dry land. I
Oh,
think
probably. Shit, that might have been on this album.
no, I don't.
No?
Well, I don't
Oh,
know because I
so
didn't make it.
right, right.
From what I heard, it wasn't on there, but yeah, it's just
Oh, no, no. No, you know who it is? It's your other favorite country artist of all time, Garth fucking Brooks.
what?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, internet. Yeah, two pina coladas, one for each hand is a lyric from the popular Garth Brooks song Two Pina Coladas, where the phrase symbolizes the desire for escape, relaxation. Thanks for the insight, AI.
Oh
Super helpful.
yeah,
You know what he fucking
tell me how
means.
to feel, robot.
Yeah.
Shit. Uh,
Oh. Anyway, it's Garth Brooks, so yeah, no wonder it's garbage.
well, that sucks even worse, man.
Yeah, yeah.
What does
Somebody
he
get
know
me
about?
Jimmy Buffett on the phone. Stat. I'm sick of this Garth Brooks shit. Oh,
I did
yeah.
not
So
know that. It doesn't even sound like him. What?
it might have been his alter ego. Remember the alter ego he had?
Oh
Rock and
yeah.
roll.
Oh yeah. What was that called? That
I
is a
don't,
good
man.
challenge. Because I've
That might be.
only
I'm gonna write
seen
that shit down. Now you've done it, Garth
definitely
Brooks.
because he had like an existential crisis with that. Like
Yeah,
he he changed his whole appearance. It
yeah.
almost looked like he got plastic surgery.
He went like full. He went like I think he went. And forgive us, like again, guys. This is not music history. If you know this already, and you're screaming at the screen or screaming in your fucking iPhone or throwing your ear pods down a sewer, sorry, we don't know everything about Garth Brooks, and we're never going to.
Nope.
And that is intentional. But I think it's his it was like his rock and roll phase. Like he was trying to fit into like the grunge thing or it's I don't know, man, but it didn't work with me. So, but it worked. I mean, dude's filthy rich and doesn't have to work anymore. So man,
But
props to
but
Kurt
but it
Brooks. But
was
yeah,
so
that's a
weird.
challenge.
Everybody talked about it like, what is he having a midlife crisis that's like severe? Like
I
it
think it's
was
one of
like,
those scenes where like when the Beatles first like when they first came on, they just did rock and roll. And then when they had all the money in the world and they could afford all the recording gear and all the new things, all the new effects things that came out, they implemented everything on every album. Like Sergeant Pepper's and all the psychedelic stuff, all the weird trippy shit.
oh
And because
yeah.
they could afford it. I think Garth Brooks hit it so big he could afford to do whatever he wanted. He goes, I'm gonna try this fucking alter ego thing and I'm gonna go play some rock and roll and I'm gonna come up with my alternate name, and I'll look it up later, internet.
Oh,
Maybe
but
put a full screen of it here.
okay.
Maybe
Uh,
not.
there's one thing that I can say for Garth Brooks that everybody gets a redemption arc, and if they have one, I love to hear about it. I love to know about it. Speaking of Kiss, which we did a few episodes ago, Kiss released an album called Kiss My Ass, I think. And it had a whole bunch of people doing Kiss covers. Garth Brooks
Mm,
did something like Strutter or or but it was great, because Kiss was a huge influence to him apparently.
mhm.
So he actually did a good. It wasn't country, so don't worry about that. It was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
true to the actual song, and I was surprised. I was just like, oh wow, okay, so Garth fucking Brooks like loves Kiss and does a really good cover of I think it was Strutter, which isn't bad. That's a rocking
Yeah.
song. Anyways, what did you think of old Jimmy B?
Well, yeah, I call him. He and I are pretty tight. I call him JB. So JB and I
JB?
go way back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big parrot head.
Uh,
Obviously, big parrot. You see all my parrot tattoos.
yeah, it takes up your entire back. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. One on each testicle. Is that allowed?
Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely. Human anatomy is not something to be shunned. If you
no, no, don't be ashamed.
got a parrot tattoo on your nuts,
You
that's
know,
fine.
on each. So anyway, back to reality. Jimmy Buffett actually, man, I was shocked. I got through the whole thing.
Wow.
I got through the whole thing, and it wasn't that and I say this a lot. It wasn't that I particularly liked it, but I I will honestly say, like, I'm still not a Jimmy Buffett fan. I can never hear Margaritaville again. Like, I hated that song 10 years ago. I was already sick of it. But looking at everything objectively, like we have to do in our line of work, our grueling jobs of review, of listening to albums, getting to the positive part of this is he's actually a really good songwriter.
Yeah.
Not just I mentioned that about Taylor Swift too. Good songwriter and all that, not my bag. Jimmy Buffett, good songwriter, not my bag. But the lyrics in a lot of the songs were actually pretty good. Like not like just surface, Kiss or Violent Femme stuff where it's just like rhyming words because they rhyme. It was actually pretty insightful stuff, very well thought out. I won't necessarily say poetic, but he fits into the brand that he created so well, and he can write endless songs about hanging out in paradise with your feet in the sand, with a drink in your hand. Shit, I just quoted David Lee Roth, I think. Anyway, but he can write endless songs about that over and over and over. I'm looking at the song list now. Banana Republics was a pretty cleverly written song, written with a
Yeah,
couple other guys.
I did hear
Um,
that one.
yeah, that's before Mark. But let me back up a little bit. When you mentioned Margaritaville early, and that's where he had to hit the gong.
Yeah.
Two things. I thought if I'm angry by the time I get through track five, sorry, I'm looking at the song list through track five because Margaritaville is track six. If I'm angry by the time I get through track five, if I make it, no way I'm getting through Margaritaville. There's no fucking way. Because that song, I just hate it. But the first five songs, I was kind of pleasantly surprised at how good the lyrics were. The music, yeah, it was all right. There were some moments in there where I actually thought, hey, that's a pretty clever little riff, or that's a clever little like bridge or something like that. But the when I got to Margaritaville, I actually had hope. Like, if I can get through Margaritaville, I can probably get through the rest of this because I almost got to the point where I wanted to hear what else he was going to write because he is a man. I sound like I love Jimmy Buffett. I don't, but he is a fantastic storyteller. Really, really good storyteller. And that's when you have to realize again, this is another album that proved that we've talked about repeatedly in our first few episodes. If you're a good lyricist, you don't need a great voice. You just need to be able to tell your story in your song. You don't need a great voice. I don't need you to be Whitney Houston. I don't need that. Tell your story. And he told many stories in his song, and I gotta say, they're pretty clever stories. Not still musically not my cup of tea, but I was pleasantly surprised. One thing that I thought was fantastic, because we're always talking about giving him the gong. He actually mentioned in a song where he's sitting back watching the Gong Show. I thought, oh my God, this is our thesis. We've
Yeah.
achieved success. This is it.
Yes.
He's watching the Gong Show. Fucking A Crowbar, man. 1977, I think this came out. I rest my case. Your Honor, I rest my case.
I need a gong, an actual
Yeah,
gong.
that'd be pretty cool. Behind you, a big gong. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty
Just
sweet.
turn around and fail.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree, and it seems to be that it's mostly the people whose name of the band is their name. Um, Generally good songwriters, like Luke Combs.
yeah.
Like
Bob
he,
Dylan.
he obviously is. Nobody really cares about who's in Luke Combs' band because it's
Right.
all about he's the man.
Yeah.
It's his thing, and he's got to be a good songwriter. He is. Taylor Swift, another good songwriter. And I
Yeah.
mean, scientifically, she's a good songwriter, but
Right. Right.
subjectively, I absolutely just shit on that. But uh, yeah, it's the whole island thing and the atmosphere, and like you said, if you were swimming up to one of those the bar that's in the pool and everything like that, and that was playing in the background, I wouldn't I wouldn't be turn this shit off,
Yeah.
like
Put on
uh
Pantera.
yeah. Let's race some fucking hell. No, I'm there to
Yeah. Put on
relax.
Motorhead.
So it's good for that, and the people enjoy that, and I think that if I was in the Florida Keys and a Jimmy Buffett tribute band was going on and I had nothing else to do, I would go see it. Just to be in the
Yeah, that's a good point.
atmosphere of live music. And when we're done with these, and before we trail off horribly like we normally do, I went to see a show recently, so we could do something like a concert corner or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to talk about it because there was a lot of things going on. So that was pretty cool. But we have two other bands to go through
Two
here.
other
So
artists, he said in air
yeah,
quotes.
yeah, air quotes,
So yeah,
artists.
what else do we have? We had let's see, don't spoil it. We had oh man, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go with we had Rick Springfield, Working Class Dog, and we had Nirvana Bleach before they hit it big. Which one do you want to go first? You go first. Which one did you which one?
All
You
right,
choose and
Prick Springfield. Um, Fail.
wow.
Yeah. This was a rough week. This really was. And here's what I do is that I'm streaming my video game, and I'll have that going on so that anybody else that watches my stream can also suffer with me or be in jubilation with me,
Oh.
or whatever. And so basically, when I'm playing a game, I got to wait until I get to town in the game to hit the gong. So if I need to, so sometimes I'm stuck for a while, and
So it forces you to give it a good fighting chance then
it
sometimes.
does I'm
Well,
kind of
that's solid.
locked in, with that little trick that we do, where with me,
What is it you did last time with Taylor
sh-
Swift or
shredding
you're shredding
zucchini.
zucchini?
Yeah, with
You
my
couldn't touch
hands
your
all
phone for like 2 hours.
my hands all full of zucchini juice. I
Oh
wasn't gonna
god, that's
come and
great.
turn off my computer
Oh,
or hit stop or anything like that. I was just like, oh,
that would have been torture. Holy
I'm
shit, man.
I'm absolutely locked in, and that's the only reason why she passed. But this one was another thing where I was just like, this vibe isn't gonna change, and I don't expect it to, because this is obviously how they they make their money, is by having a certain look or sound or whatever. But holy shit, this was an 80s movie soundtrack that just never stopped. It was like every song I was like, this should be, and it's probably in an
Uh-huh.
80s movie, like 16 Candles or some shit like that, like it- and it just was the same stuff. I didn't really find anything clever about it. I know Jesse's Girl, but
Yeah.
this is the same thing as like Angel in the Centerfold. Like I know that
Oh,
song, and I know it's from the Jay Giles band, but do I
yeah.
give a rat's ass to listen to the rest of it?
Right. Oh, man.
No. And um, oh, okay, let's talk about the positives. Was that I always admired the fact that he used the word moot in Jesse's Girl. I've
Yeah.
never heard that word ever before in anything published. And
I bet the Violent Femmes could rhyme with it too. Suit!
yeah, suit, flute, shoot.
Fruit! Yeah.
So yeah, he used the word moot. That was pretty cool. I got a kick out of that, but I knew that was coming because I've heard Jesse's Girl for my whole life.
Oh, that's great.
Basically.
That's the one lyric thing that you picked out. Rhyme
Yeah.
with the word moot.
It's
And you know
the
what else is great? He didn't mispronounce it as mute like so many ignorant people do.
Oh yeah, yeah. But this was like
Uh,
Leave It to Beaver with distorted guitars. It's so friendly. It's just so corporatized and so not edgy. I like edgy shit because I'm El Blasto and that's the fucking way
right.
it goes. But this was so safe and just so whatever. But I've looked through people's vinyl collections all my life and flipping through, I've never seen Rick Springfield in anybody's collection. And I'm looking through ones that I come across, No Jacket Required by Phil Collins, which was
Mm.
massive.
Oh,
Apparently,
yeah.
Rick Springfield also was massive. He had 22 studio albums.
Oh,
What? What? Where are
man.
all these fans? Like,
All that while doing General I have a little bit of a story about the fans too later on, but you do your thing.
okay.
So,
And the,
yeah.
the latest one was 2023. So, um, yeah, I'm not gonna
Hey,
bag
dude
on the
ain't busy
guy.
these days.
Yeah, he he's doing something right, but like outside of like, an 80s cardio gym, with the leg warmers
Fucking
and the fucking
jazzercise, yeah.
yeah, jazzercise and the headbands and all that
Oh,
shit, I could definitely see like his song coming on the
oh my
radio
god, yeah.
in one of those situations, but every other place is just like, who listens
Oh
to
my
the
god.
entire album and is just like, I so love Rick Springfield. I have
Yeah.
I have an altar designated to this man. Like never met anybody, never even seen anybody with a vinyl record from him. So these people,
Yeah.
I don't know where they live or what they do, but it was just like Huey Lewis in the news. This is a master class in 80s pop rock.
Absolutely, yeah. So how you got through Justice Girl's the second track. You got through that one, right?
Yeah, I
How
got
far did you
all
get?
the way. I think I got all the way to the end. Red Hot and Blue was the
Oh, wow. So you
second to the
almost made it.
last song,
Yeah, yeah,
and I almost made it. Yeah, but
yeah.
I was just like, no, I'm going to fail this one on principle
It was
because I just
it was a valiant
there was
effort,
nothing
but
special about it. Yeah, it was just it wasn't something that I would normally listen to at all. I mean, of
yeah,
course, if I have an 80s hits album and Jesse's Girls on it, that's great. And I think there was another song that I recognized on the record too.
I've done
Um,
everything for you. That one.
yes, yep, that's the one.
That's the
So
other hit off
yeah,
the album.
yeah, and when that came on, I was like, "Oh, he did this song. Oh, okay."
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
normally I never would have even looked up who did it. It's just like, "Oh yeah, that song. I know it." Uh,
yeah,
th- that's it.
yeah.
That's
Could
the
have
end.
been Devo. Could have been the Cars. Could have been
Yeah, it
Eddie
could have been
Money. Could have
the
been
Cars, Eddie
Devo. Yeah,
Money, Jay
REO
Giles
Speedwagon.
Band. You know,
REO Speedwagon, which is going to become like an ongoing joke for us, I think, because I think they get mentioned in every episode so far.
yeah, yeah, REO Speedwagon. But
Uh,
um, but it did off connected to that, did REO Speedwagon do the song "Roll with the Changes"?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
Yeah.
is one of my top 3 favorite songs of all time now, because I just
Yeah?
heard it, like, about a year ago, and ever since then, I've been listening to it a lot. Like, I don't know what it is about that song, but man, that is a good song. It just gives me, like, tingles every time that I hear it. I don't like the rest of their stuff. I don't really care about REO Speedwagon, but that
Yeah,
song,
yeah.
oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
that is such a
You know,
good song.
yeah, not to get off on that tangent, but they're a band or we could definitely do a challenge and we could look at the album and go, "Holy shit, look at all the hits." They have so many hits that you wouldn't even you wouldn't think about it. They could have a I'm sure they do. I haven't looked, but they have a greatest hits album probably, and it's probably chock full of like 15, 20 like legit hits that you've heard. Like
Oh, yeah.
anyway, I
Yeah.
don't even say it. Taking on the Run's a great song
Mhm.
that it's fun to play and good. It's a pretty good song, and the one you mentioned, but their singer crashed. A friend of mine pointed this out to me a long time ago, that their singer has the habit of the end of any word that ends in R. He instead of like you'll say and you'll end the word that way. Instead, he goes R in all their songs, and that's his vocal style. But it just
Well,
sounds. I can't fight this feeling anymore.
okay, yeah,
I'm
and
not
then
when I started fighting for.
yeah, I remember REO Speedwagon was on MTV a lot when they actually played music all day long.
Yeah, yeah, that
You
was
know, so
quite a
they
while ago.
that was their time to shine was the MTV days. But so for Rick Springfield too, I'm sure that I saw videos by him.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, for sure.
but I just didn't really pay attention because it just blends in with the Jay Giles band, Huey Lewis and the News, and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It's like it's just this generic pop rock that when it was
yeah,
in full swing in the '80s, and not that I don't appreciate the hit songs, but yeah, just all the B sides on the Rick Springfield was just like this is just so fucking boring. I
yeah.
Damn.
You know, it's interesting you put it that way because I kind of took a different approach to it, where I won't say I cheated, but I looked ahead. It's kinda like in school, you'd go ahead and before you do the chapter, you go ahead and look at the answer key first, and then you look for the answers as you read it. So the way I did this is I looked at all the tracks. I think every track was under 3 minutes. It might have been one that was over 3 minutes. Oh, I took note. All songs were 3:27 or less, except for the last song. And I thought, I can get through a 3.5 minute song. It has to suck really badly. But I also took the other approach of I know it's gonna sound like 80s pop, so I'm gonna hear those synth keyboards, I'm gonna hear the guitar tone that so I expected so I kinda looked past that and kind of well, I didn't look past it, but I took it in and went I knew what I was gonna get. So I was able to get through it was success, I got through the whole album, but it's not to say that I didn't check the clock like 4 or 5 times to go, "Are you sure this is only a fucking 3-minute song?
Right.
God damn, this sucks."
Yeah.
And be like 2:30 into it and went, all right, I'll hear him out. And then it would coda and the coda would fade out. And I think, okay, all right, I can make it. And then the next song come on and it'd be some cheesy fucking keyboard riff. I think, oh man, it would start slow. And this happened literally like at least 3 different times on the album where I listened to it and it'd be all slow and corny and sappy. And like the song, what was it? Daddy's Pearl. First of all, Rick, you could have just said Daddy's Girl. The Pearl was not clever. It didn't make any sense. All I could think of was like SpongeBob, you know,
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs' daughter Pearl. Anyway,
Yeah,
but
Pearl.
so that kind of ruined him. But then this happened like 3 or 4 times where the song was slow and crappy, and then it started rocking, and I went, okay, that's better. And then it would stop rocking and go back to the slow shit, and I think, God damn it, dude! Like, oh, and then it'd start rocking, and be like, okay, that was okay. So I got through the whole album, but that last song, which was called, hold on, internet, Inside Sylvia.
Inside
Mm,
Sylvia, yeah, I got a
oh,
creepy vibe from that too. It was
that
just like, is
was
this a serial killer thing or a sexual reference or
it.
like what?
I
That's
think
just
it was because some of the lyrics were, what did I write down? Yeah, just like pretty flat out. I know my love is a light inside Sylvia. Like that sounds like fucking Gene Simmons wrote that. And then when I'm inside Sylvia, well, there's one option comes to mind. Maybe I'm just a simple guy, but I think that's what he's talking about. I think he's talking
Probably.
about intercourse. Just
Yeah.
what I think.
Or
So that song really sucked. But what saved, and that was the long one on the album too, which I thought Rick Springfield, man, fuck you. That was a dirty trick, dude. Putting your long, shitty song at the end of the album when you know I got a challenge to do, but I got through it
yeah.
because the coda was like 2 minutes long at the end or whatever. It took forever to get through, but it faded out so slowly and so gradually. My brain at like 3.5 minutes in went, okay, it's ending. I can get through it. And
That's
then just kept
because
fading,
yeah,
fading.
they just do that because you've fallen asleep at 3 songs before that,
Yeah, yeah,
naturally listening to it, so it's just like,
yeah,
well, let's just bring it out, fade out for like at least 30 seconds because they're already
yeah,
asleep. They listen to
yeah.
this shit when they're going to bed
Yeah,
because
they've
it's,
already disengaged.
yeah, this isn't party music. This isn't like, edgy. It's not in it. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's the bubble gum
Yeah.
of,
So what I did get on some of these songs is he's actually a pretty good guitarist. There were some riffs in there that weren't like your standard open chords or power chords. There were like, oh, you have to actually sit down and write that riff, rehearse it, learn it, and know that you can play it and then go play. And he plays to this day. He still does at least as far as I know, he still does live shows. And
oh,
I mean, I remember back in the day, my mom used to watch soap operas back when I was a kid, and he was on General Hospital. He was a
uh-huh.
heartthrob on the show, played a doctor and on this TV show. And so he has all these. So that is key to getting a whole bunch of female fans. Like soap operas, not going to stereotype, but come on, who watches them? Women watch soap operas, men don't typically. But anyway, he got a huge fan base from that, and then he'd go on around and play concerts. I think I mentioned on the last episode when we previewed this that insider information that I have. I know somebody who used to work for Rick Springfield down here in Southern California,
Yeah.
and I won't go into the whole detail because I don't want to get Rick Springfield in trouble, but let's just say that women would contact him regularly through his website or whatever and just buy signed merch. And he presumably would sign said merch and ship it out to him. But women go crazy still women go crazy for Rick Springfield. Apparently he's a very handsome man and the women like the Rick Springfield
Well, I
and they
was
still
gonna,
like
yeah, I was gonna say, is he a thirst trap, which is a new term for like, what's his nuts on, Thor: Love and Thunder, Chris Hemsworth,
oh yeah,
where they
yeah.
had the part in the movie where he's like they tear all his clothes off and he's like in front of Zeus or whatever, and for every woman in the theater, that was awesome because he
Right,
was
right.
ripped, the anabolic chicken and broccoli. Yeah, right. Uh, but
That's
I
not
mean,
a bad band name, Anabolic Chicken.
yeah, anabolic chicken. But it's nothing to do with steroids whatsoever. But
No.
that was the thirst trap in the movie that just gave them some eye candy for
Yeah, yeah.
for whatever. So I guess Rick Springfield was one of those too. If he was on General Hospital, he was one of the beautiful people because
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
they didn't put regular Joe that works at the fucking mill
Right.
into that show,
Yeah, Joe
so
Mullet from the gas station. Guess what? You're
yeah.
a doctor on General Hospital now. I'm Dr. Mullet.
But yeah, in the world of 80s pop though, he was kind of like the tallest retard. Um, you could say the smartest, but that this one just makes
Yeah,
no sense because I'm El Blasto and I refer myself in the third person, but
right.
he was the tallest retard for the
Yeah,
time.
it's like Anthony Michael Hall in 16 Candles where he refers himself as the king of the dipshits.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, the 16 Candles again. Rick Springfield could have just played all the music on it and it would have been an 80s movie.
Oh, you know what? That
Absolutely.
reminds me too. What's funny about this? Well, many things are funny about this album. Although I got through it, I'm a sucker for some good guitar work. There's enough good guitar work to where I went, "Oh, okay, I'll listen a little bit more. It was good. So props to him. There is a song. So when you look in Spotify, the last three tracks are blurred out. You can't, or they're grayed out. You can't play them. So I'm like, huh, what's that all about? And so
Why?
it's usually like a copyright thing. Like there's some other cover songs where people aren't allowed to cover Black Sabbath or whatever, The Doors. Anyway, so they gray it out. So I went on a mission. I searched out one more fucking track because it was called well there were two actually. There's one called Easy to Cry, which was another sounded like a fucking Steve Miller Band song. I mean, it was all right. You know, I got through it. It was short. But there's one called Taxi Dancing. And I was like, what the fuck is Taxi Dancing? It's a song from a soundtrack to a movie called
Shocker.
Hard to Hold. And it's a duet. Not a duet like Dewey Cox, but but a duet with what was her name? A woman named Randy Crawford. And it was just a corny fucking duet. I listened to it and I thought, man, maybe Hard to Hold is another like the love story version of Bronx Executioner, or we should just watch it to see how bad it is because never heard of it. And Randy Crawford, I looked her up and she's done a whole bunch of like studio stuff and she's a good voice, but crappy sappy song. Very crappy sappy song.
Definitely.
But I got through it because I figured it's one song, you know, whatever. I'll listen to it, but it was not good. Actually, I did think of this, not to rant on this anymore because we got to get to the third one, but there got to be some well renowned soundtracks out there that we should try to get to, like Footloose.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
what's the one? She's a maniac on the floor. God dang it!
Oh, Flashdance.
Flash Dance would be another one to get through. God, there's a bunch. There's a bunch of soundtracks.
See,
Roadhouse soundtrack, which I actually bought that because Jeff Healy's on it. That's a good challenge actually. The soundtrack to the original Roadhouse movie with the Swayze.
yeah, Swayze crazy.
Swayze crazy. He does a couple songs on that, and they're fucking terrible.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Dirty Dancing too. Like
oh,
he did the fucking Hungry Eyes.
was
Oh
that him?
yeah, that
Oh my
was
god,
Swayze crazy.
Swayze
Um
crazy man. He did one for
and
Roadhouse, and it was another sappy song. It was awful, but the Jeff Healey songs are
oh
all
yeah,
great on there.
yeah, because he was like
But
Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know, like
yeah, yeah.
he was a blues monster. But
Oh, he was phenomenal.
yeah, and like early Kyler says, names was taken, asses was kicked, cut to commercial. Watching Roadhouse.
Yep, yep.
Oh no, names was taken, asses was kicked, love was made, cut to commercial.
Oh man, that movie's such a guilty pleasure of mine too. Like, there's so many like just little. I won't get into it. Yeah, we're here to talk about music. Anyway, Roadhouse. The original Roadhouse was fun. I'll say it was fun. But yeah, that would be a good soundtrack challenge because the Jeff Healey stuff is worth waiting for. But there's some real shitty. There was a Bob Seger song there, which is okay, I think. Oz
Uh,
Skaggs might have done one. Yeah, I might get those two guys mixed up. I don't know,
I don't
but
like
yeah,
Bob
Swayze
Seger.
did at least one or two.
Well,
So
yeah, let's do a a movie soundtrack
okay,
episode once, and that'll
yeah,
be
we'll do
one.
that.
Roadhouse,
We'll
because
do that.
I remember the blind guy playing the guitar, and it was really cool
Yep.
and everything like that. But as far as the rest of the movie, it was just a like a '80s action
Asses were
movie.
kicked.
Yep, names was taken, asses was kicked, love was made. Cut to commercial.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I took a note of that soundtrack. So we already have next week's planned out. So we'll get to that in a minute. But we had one more album that we had to do, and it
Yes.
was Nirvana Bleach. You challenged me with Nirvana Bleach. So I think I better go first on that one since you challenged me.
Yeah,
I took
yeah.
some notes on it.
Go ahead.
It was dicey, but I succeeded. I got through it. And I didn't think I was going to, man, because I didn't even like, well, I shouldn't say. I was not as impressed with Nirvana Nevermind as everybody else was. I think you and I hit on the last time too. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was great. I think from the first time I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, I instantly knew that the drummer was the best musician in the band. And it doesn't mean
Yeah.
he was a great drummer, but he's modest about it. I've heard him in other interviews. Oh, I stole all those riffs from other guys, from old 70s, funk guys. Yeah, I know. We all do that with guitar, bass, or drums or vocals, whatever. But Kurt Cobain is not a good guitarist. He's just not. And he was, and I'm saying that after listening to Nevermind, their huge hit that made them globally famous. On Bleach, that was before Nevermind. He was fucking terrible on Bleach. Terrible on Bleach. But what I've always said about Kurt Cobain is, if nothing else, he was a really good lyricist. And it doesn't mean that everyone liked his style, but he always had, almost always had, and that could be said for anyone who's writes songs. But he was a really good lyricist, very creative mind. Drugs or not, I think he was just that creative type. When it came to lyrics, he just wasn't a very good guitarist. And in Bleach, it was a lot of fucking noise, man. Honestly, when he soloed, I thought like, somebody get me the Violent Femmes on the phone, please. Can you somebody get Pavement in here, please? I need a better guitarist to do this ripping solo. Like, or
Yeah.
just don't cut 30 seconds out of the song. And it's funny because like some of the solos that they left that they had in the songs, a lot of times if you're a good guitarist, you'll want like a full minute, you want like 20 bars or more, or at least 16 bars to get your solo. And really, it was like 4 bars.
Yeah, I was gonna say two bars
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like, Mary had a little lamb or some shit.
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, some of them were really, I don't know. I don't want to. I was expecting the album to be mostly just gratuitous noise, because a lot of like amateur musicians will try to hide their lack of skill with just excess noise. Like they'll let the guitar feedback longer because like, I don't know what to play, and they'll just let it fucking howl for another 3 seconds. Oh, I did it on purpose. It's so cool. No, it's really not cool, man. It's just ear splitting. So what are but some of the songs were all right. Some of them were okay. I did put what did I put a note on here? How record execs could pick up on this and think, that's what it was. So this came out before Nevermind, and Nevermind
Yeah.
is one that made him globally famous. I am and I think you might fit into this too, because there's so many hit making factories out there in bands and individuals. Taylor Swift, Drake, Diddy back in the day.
Hmm.
Don't even start on that. Nirvana. How these record execs can hear Shania Twain and go, she's gonna be a star. That music is gonna sell 1 million copies. When to me it sounds so vanilla and plain and nothing impressive about it. And then I'll hear a guy like Jeff Healey and go, fucking hey, who is this guy? And nobody else knows who he is forever. But how executives can hear these guys and go, you guys are gonna be big someday. And I know it from listening to this shitty album called Bleach. I don't get it, man. But they're right. They're fucking right, and I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know if you
Yeah.
have a take on that too, because I know you've seen the same thing.
Oh yeah. It was, well, this is what started the grunge scene. And grunge is the most appropriate word for that
Yeah.
scene. And there's bands like Sonic Youth that I absolutely cannot stand. And you're right.
Yeah.
They will make a bunch of fucking noise and call it art.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like modern art. It sucks. There's no talent. It's like putting a red stripe on a canvas, and because it's my
Yeah.
name, that I did it, I can sell it for $500,000,
Right.
um, because I'm a modern artist or whatever. But this was definitely kicking dirt onto the corporate MTV hair metal stuff. It was just
Yeah.
like these guys were just like, we just want to be measurable. So, we're just gonna fucking do that. Everything's gonna be
Yeah.
like,
We don't want your money unless you're gonna pay us. Yeah, we'll take the
yeah.
money if you're gonna pay us. We don't want it.
But then I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn around and whine about it all the time, But it's like this album was interesting. I picked it because when Nirvana was the thing and they were going, I was aware of it, and I remember hearing it in somebody's car, Bleach, and was just like, "Fuck this, turn this off." And this was a long time ago. This was, early '90s, so it was
Yeah.
just like I didn't quite understand. I didn't have the whole worldview that has happened since I've gained wisdom.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
that whole worldview hadn't formed yet. Grunge had just started. We had no idea what we were up against.
right, and it was just the bastard son of punk, and
That's a good way to
and
put it.
none of yeah, it's punk music, but just a lot noisier and a little more atmospheric and
Yeah. A little slowed down, a little
and
more,
depressed.
yeah, a little more lyrical.
I recognized About a Girl because
Hmm.
that's on the Unplugged MTV thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, oh, there's one song that I actually know, but I think I knew Negative Creep too.
Mhm.
I'm a negative creep. I'm a negative creep. Blah blah blah, and I'm stoned.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's I thought that was so unclever and but that's it too, not to interrupt you, but that's what I listen to that and go, "That's so stupid." Like, you're blatantly just pandering to the stoner crowd, but then record executives here, like, go, "We can pander to the stoner crowd. We can pander to the stoner crowd, baby. They'll give us all their money.
Oh,
Oh,
everybody's
keep the
wearing
records."
flannel shirts now. They put down the fucking hairspray and the leather vest, and now they're just wearing flannels and beanies. So, and complaining about their barista. And okay, so I'm gonna give a big shout out right now for all you Nirvana people, and especially you, Chris Novoselic. This is about you, buddy. Root
Oh,
Note
boy.
Wizard. Cue the
Uh,
applause because he is a root note wizard. There was nothing about the bass that
he
did
nailed the root notes.
anything. It was pure root notes. I was like, wow, this is astonishingly like simple. Like fucking holy shit.
So
Wow.
simple.
Yeah, it's so simple. And yeah, so
Uh,
our t-shirt
Watch
is
me, faggots.
we've gotta point them out. So we got Gene Simmons, and we also have Chris Novoselic, who's even better root note wizard than Gene Simmons.
You know
Holy
what,
shit.
too, is in this album, man, Kurt Cobain is not far off from being a root note wizard with a fucking guitar.
Right.
Like, he didn't do anything. Like, About a Girl, E minor to G, E minor to G, E minor, and then an A, and then I forget what it is. But God, that's what I got out of this album too. This sounded like a beginning, and man, I'm really trying not to bag on Kurt Cobain too much because I appreciate what he did. I get it. Like, I get why people love him. I get why people love the band Nirvana. I do get it. And this album helped me understand it, ironically, even though it wasn't great. But this sounded like a guy that could be a really good musician someday who just learned how to play the guitar like maybe 2 years into it. And he thought, hey, this is fun. Like, let's get a Fostex 4-track and let's record in my bedroom. Okay, yeah, Chris, come over. Dave, come over. We'll record real quick. And that's to me what this sounded like. Although it did have a little more nuance because it was actually in the studio and all that. But it's the music, the way the actual music was written and played, it just sounded like a beginning guitarist, a beginning bassist, and a good drummer was along for the ride. Said, "Yeah, I'll play with you guys. Go ahead." And they just
This
recorded the only thing they knew to record, the only thing they knew how to play.
Yeah, this
So
was I'm gonna Google this right now on my
great
googly
googly
phone.
moogly.
Budget, because I know the budget for this album
Yeah,
was extremely low.
yeah, like
What was it called? Bleach.
receipts to In-N-Out Burger and Safeway, 12 packs of whatever they bought. We're just gonna feed you while you record.
I
That's all
think
you get.
the heroin cost more than the album.
Yeah, we'll sponsor the heroin and the guitar picks. The rest is up to you guys.
Oh, I was very close. I was like, I was gonna say $700, but that sounds really ridiculous. And I was like, it's probably more like 7,000, which is still nothing to make an
Yeah.
album. It was $606.17.
I love it, dude. And you know what? I have nothing but respect for that. I've produced stuff on a budget. I produced a short film for like less than $1,000. I've produced my own album for whatever it cost me to buy the equipment, which was nothing, pretty much.
Yeah,
So props
yeah,
to them, man, for walking into a studio and like one take wonders. I guess when it's that simple, I don't want to say it was
yes.
that simple because there was some nuance to some of the songs where it would take some rehearsal. I get it. Like I don't like I said, I don't want to diss Nirvana too much because I get it. This album actually helped me see more why people like them than
Well,
just Nevermind.
and I wanted to do this, and shout out to my son, Monkey. He is he has become a Nirvana aficionado, and I was just
Mm.
like, why? Why of all the fucking thing? I hate grunge music a lot. You know, why are you digging that up? Couldn't you go to the 80s? No,
No,
it was Nirvana, but he had a existential vision, and Kurt Cobain was part of it, and
Yeah.
So he's really into Nirvana. So I was just like, well,
It's probably the same reason why you and I, when we were in high school and junior college and whatever, rejected hair metal band and went back and listened to Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and that kind of stuff.
yeah,
That's because the music because I couldn't get into all the hair metal stuff. I could not. I knew what hard rock was supposed to be and what it sounded like in the early '80s and before. And then when they were trying to, the executives, trying to tell me that Poison and Bon Jovi are hard rock. Are you fucking kidding me?
right.
Unskinny Bop? Fuck you! Don't ever play that again. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
Yeah, exactly. So, but maybe that's why, and why you picked Nirvana of all the bands. I don't know. I think I said last time there were a lot better grunge bands that came out of the grunge era than Nirvana, but Nirvana was they started it. They were more iconic, And
I
I
would,
don't want to cheapen it by saying it's kind of because Kurt Cobain killed himself, made himself a martyr. I think it's a cheap shot to be honest, but there is some truth to it too. I mean that's serious publicity for a lot for all the wrong reasons.
yeah,
But Nirvana was there first, so.
but for Bleach itself, I could absolutely hear the influence of the Melvins on it.
Mm,
It was
mhm.
just very just chunky and heavy, whereas Nevermind had a lot more musical variety with the songs. This one was pretty much straight the same, pretty much the same vibe throughout the whole thing. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like, Come As You Are compared to Territorial Pissings
Right,
on
right,
Nevermind, which were
right.
completely different songs. This one was all kind of the same.
Yeah.
It was just
I got that too, like, I was kinda surprised at how many, like, really heavy riffs there were, and it made me wonder, is that only because they didn't know how to play anything else and they were trying to make it sound more powerful? But, I mean, it was okay. But, yeah, you're right, there were a lot of I thought of that too, the not just the Melvins, but that was one of the bands I thought of too is it sounds kinda Melvins-ish 'cause it's kinda noise mixed in with heaviness.
yeah,
It's not as clean sounding as the Melvins, which is ironic to say, um,
yeah,
but it wasn't. It was really sloppy sounding in many spots. The one song I thought was pretty funny was "Swap Meet."
yeah,
It's just about a guy and a girl that all they do is they go around to swap meets and they're in love and they sell their trinkets. And then at the end, he kind of said something like, "Oh, they're not as in love as they," or he said something that alluded to, "Oh, they don't love each other as much as you thought they did." I thought it was just like they did it for the love, did it for love, and that was it. But now at the end, it's like I forget what the lyric was, but it was like, "Oh, that's kind of a dark twist at the end." But I just picture these two like wannabe hippies from the '90s, that go around to Grateful Dead shows and sell their shit on the side, and twirl around with their patchouli stink and their their fucking sage torches and
yep,
that kind of shit.
yeah, that's another good point of the pop culture at the time was the second wave of hippies in the
Yeah,
'90s
yeah,
and the second wave of LSD that came around at that time. This was all impactful stuff. And
yeah,
the grunge mixed the hippies with the punks because that's what the music was. It was like very liberal, very left leaning, and I guess punk was always like that. But you could have
yeah.
really hard right stuff on in punk too. But generally, it was just like, yeah, we just want to rebel against, all this pompous shit, which I get, because yeah, Poison, Unskinny fucking
Ugh.
Bop, and all that dumbass shit that they were
Mm.
churning out, rocking like docking the whole time, and these kids were pissed off, and they're from Seattle, so it's just depressing anyway. So they were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, let's just mix all this shit together and just like just make a bunch of noise, like Sonic Youth. If you want to listen to some bullshit, put on them, and they were part and parcel with this whole movement of grunge.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
was just like, yeah, there's a lot of noise in it and stuff like that. Strangely enough, my favorite uh um Nirvana album was In Utero,
Mhm.
and that was the one that Kurt Cobain set out to piss everybody off with, but he didn't. It was actually a fucking masterpiece, and I think that just kind of pushed him over the edge too, because I get it, they they get mad because their radio hit is not the best one. Obviously, on
Right, right.
Nevermind,
Always the
"Smells Like
case, yeah,
Teen Spirit" is not the best song.
right.
Like, there are far better songs on there, but that was the one that got onto MTV, and it made them blow up overnight, and, and then they just got sick of playing it live, so they would do a really bad job of that song every time they were supposed to play it live. Like Faith No More with Epic. I've seen them
Yeah. Oh,
fuck that song up deliberately so many times because they're just like, we hate that song, like, and
yeah, yeah,
that's the one everybody loves and everybody's always cheering for. And fuck you.
yeah.
And I get that too, it's just like, uh, but I I I always did like Kurt Cobain as a person. From what I saw, he's very mild mannered and not really, like a complete dickhead like um, Dave Mustaine is and I was talking to my son about this, and he was just like, "Yeah, Dad, you're right. Dave Mustaine is kind of a dick." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what's the example?" And he said, "Yeah, he was asked about what he thought about Kurt Cobain." And right, he didn't even think. He just goes, "Well, he was a good shot." Yeah, that's uh,
Ugh,
that's
that's
him.
so dumb. Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
So yeah,
Show a little respect, man. Show a little bit of respect.
I
Come on,
know. Yeah,
just a
but
little
he
bit.
never will.
Yeah,
It's just him.
that ship has sailed.
Yeah, he's a jerk. And nothing against you. Rust in Peace is one of the best fucking thrash albums of all time, except for Demolition Hammer. Can't beat that. But
Yeah. Oh,
uh,
yeah. Ooh, that would not even be a challenge. That's what we should challenge the audience. Listen to Demolition Hammer. You'll fucking learn something. Those guys are scientists and archaeologists and historians and doctors all wrapped into one.
yeah, yeah.
Paleontologists. They know it all, man. Those guys are geniuses.
It's not a
Crazy.
challenge. Don't show up here again unless you've listened to Epidemic of Violence,
Dude, that's
Tortured
a good one.
Existence. Just steer clear of Time Bomb because that's a whole thing. Like
Yeah, yeah.
all the thrash people just suddenly made hard rock albums that was just like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
What the hell is going on?
Demolition Hammer is like, yeah, if you want to learn something about history, archaeology, anthropology, geography, if you want to learn
Like you
to
said,
thrash metal,
animal
Demolition Hammer is
husbandry.
your band. And
Yeah, like they're the smartest lyricists I've ever seen. Like,
oh
and
man,
and some of it is so brutal, it makes me laugh. I laugh
yeah,
out
it's so
loud
great. I
because
laugh out loud at those songs because it's like a textbook done to thrash metal.
yeah,
It's so great.
yeah, Pyroclastic Annihilation. Just I laugh so hard even to this day because it's
Yeah,
so
I do too.
it's so epic about a
Yeah,
volcano going off. It is
yeah. That's all
so
it's about. It's about a volcanic eruption.
yeah,
That's all it is.
descriptive of what kind of complete mayhem goes on when a
It's like
volcano
you're
goes off.
watching, yeah. It's like you're watching it in class in college. But you're watching a video of a. This is how I picture. You're watching a volcano erupting on like a shitty movie screen in college, and it's in slow motion, and there's just a guy describing every little bit of what's happening.
Everything.
And that's the fucking song, except it's thrash metal that breaks apart. This volcanic eruption is super violent, but it's cut down into like a 10-second clip.
Yeah, with no blast beats or death metal or any of that bullshit in there to make it discordant. It's actually like you can groove to it the whole
Yeah,
time and you're just like,
that's great.
this is so awesome. It's like the best roller coaster ever, you know? Oh my God. We
Oh,
could
Neanderthals, another good one too. Just the day in the life of Neanderthals. Just go out hunting for food and something that burn the
yeah,
bones for fuel and
and
something a mammoth attacks with malice,
with
and then
malice.
alert
Yeah,
higher form of life. It's
Cro-Magnon.
Cro-Magnon shows up, ruins her whole existence.
Alert, higher form of life as a human.
Yeah, like it happened. Like, oh shit, where'd they come from? Just like suddenly showed up.
They know how to sharpen a spear. I don't. Like I'm trying to kill a woolly mammoth with my bare hands, and it charges with malice.
Yeah, a dull
Oh
stone. Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, if we get
Oh man.
if we get big enough and we can afford it, I'd really like to get a hold of those guys because one of my
Oh
top
yeah.
three bands, top three
Yeah, I'd
is
be. I would be intimidated with those guys around me because they're so smart. Or whoever, whichever one of them wrote the lyrics. Like, dude, I don't even want to like. I don't want to debate any. I don't want to. I want to. I don't want to give any opinions around you because you're gonna tell me why my opinions are wrong and you're gonna be correct. And I don't want to
Yeah,
feel like a dullard.
yeah, you simpleton. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, there. I mean, every last part of that, moving part of that machine called Demolition Hammer is like exceedingly talented,
yeah,
man. All the guitar, all the guitars, the bass, the drums. It is. Oh my God, we can sit here and
yeah,
just blow smoke up their ass all day long, and
yeah, yeah.
that would be
So
great to get them on.
props to Demolition Hammer. We'll have to reach out to those guys, see if we can get them on an episode one of these days. I'd like to hear their thoughts
Absolutely.
on Rick Springfield.
Yeah, that would be really good. Yeah, give him an email and be like, we're doing this challenge, so let's listen to
Yeah,
Pink
yeah.
and not Pink Floyd. No, no, the pop
No,
singer
no, no.
Pink.
Pink. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh god dang.
whatever stuff we decide to torture ourselves with is just like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
this is what we do.
Well, that's a solid segue into next week too. So we did kind of a theme, kind of. So there are a bunch of huge bands out there. Obviously, that's why we do what we do. Huge bands out there, bunch of huge solo artists, but there are a lot of bands out there that existed. Like we just saw Nirvana. Bleach. They weren't big yet. Nevermind, huge. But there are a lot of bands out there that had a lead singer that wasn't with the band at one point, and before that guy showed up, they were still pumping out albums. They just kind of sucked, and or
Yeah,
they had a different lead singer first and moved on to another one and got better. So the first one we're gonna do, one of my, if not my favorite band of all time, but at least one of mine, um, Pink Floyd. They had a singer named Sid Barrett, kids, and if you've ever listened to anything by Pink Floyd, especially "Wish You Were Here," the whole album of "Wish You Were Here" is about Sid Barrett. So what happened to Sid
yep,
Barrett in a nutshell? And again, we're not historians. Sid Barrett did lots of drugs, lots and lots of drugs, kids, lots. And he went completely crazy and to the point where he couldn't be fixed. And he went into an asylum and he was never himself. But he survived. But then the rest of the band, Roger Waters, David Gilmour, et cetera, they loved this guy. He's one of their brothers, one of their bandmates,
yeah, yeah.
and they were deeply saddened, probably still, I'm sure, still to this day, that one of their best friends, Sid, was in a different mental state and could not be brought back. Their friend was physically was there, but mentally he was not there anymore. It's like losing an older one to Alzheimer's or something like that. But this guy was young. He was very young. So, having said all, so the album "Wish You're Here" is phenomenal. It's a great album. The
Oh
lyrics
man.
are all about Sid Barrett, pretty much, and the journey they had with him when he was in the band. The song "Wish You're Here" is all about Sid Barrett. Anyway,
And Welcome to the Machine is also
yeah,
the way that Sid thought about the music industry, and
hmm
it is it's a heart-wrenching song. It gives me chills to think about it because it's like
yeah.
it's so atmospheric and industrial-ish, and it's just scary,
Just makes you
like.
feel dirty and afraid. Yeah,
Yeah, it's and so yeah, they had him as Sid Barrett as their singer, and this is not the Pink Floyd that guaranteed. This is completely different. I've heard a lot of it, but I've never listened to a full album with Sid Barrett
yeah, yeah,
before. So we're going to do this with Piper at the Gates of Dawn, which is, I don't know if it's the first album, but it was the first one that had hits on it.
yeah. I'd have to look it up again. Not music history class, even though we just went through a little bit of history. But
Yeah,
Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Yeah. So anything post Sid Barrett with the regular guys from Pink Floyd that you all know is pretty good. Metal is arguably decent, but like all the ones, their big albums are Dark Side of the Moon, still probably the greatest album ever recorded. Anyway, I won't go into all that. But Sid Barrett music, no offense to Sid Barrett, it's pretty brutal, man. It's not great. It's psychedelic, but not in a cool, trippy, I'm seeing things kind of way. Really, it's just fucking kind of. Anyway,
it's
I won't spoil it because we're gonna listen to the whole album because I've never listened to the whole a whole Pink Floyd with Sid Barrett album either. I've listened to some songs and thought, "Oh man, this sucks." Like poor David Gilmour and Roger Waters having the guys having to sit through this. Oh,
Yeah, well, Gilmore wasn't in it until Gumma, I think.
oh, is that
Because
what it was? Okay,
yeah, and then um, you said metal. Yeah, that was David Gilmour. Sid Barrett
yeah,
wasn't part of it at that point.
right,
So
right,
I think there was only like 2 or 3 albums with Sid Barrett. But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
acid music from the '60s. Like
yeah,
this is meant to be listened to on LSD because
yeah.
it's definitely really weird from what I remember. And I don't go out of my way to listen to Sid Barrett era Pink
No,
Floyd at all until now because this
yeah,
is this is now our job. So we're gonna do this with
yeah.
good
So
work
yeah, so
ethic.
that's one. So we got Pink Floyd, "Piper at the Gates of Dawn," featuring Sid Barrett on as the lead singer. Then we have the band, a super band, actually two super bands. We'll go with Journey, their first album titled Journey, cleverly titled Journey. Hey Journey, what's your album called? Journey. Okay, thank you. Anyway,
We are
um,
Journey.
but it's it's pre Steve Perry. So it what it is and again, not music history, guys. So fuck off. Okay, leave the comments below and fuck off. It's a bunch of guys that were in the band, or some of the guys that were in the band Santana. The record exec said, "Hey, let's make a band. We'll call you Journey. Come on, guys. You guys are Come on, baby. You're fantastic. We'll put you in the studio. We'll give you some dollars, $2-3 to throw that album together. It'll be great, baby." And it didn't turn out so great, or it didn't hit big anyway. I've listened to some of it in the past out of curiosity, and I thought, eh, it's rock. But we're gonna do Journey's album named Journey pre Steve Perry. And people say what you want about Steve Perry and oh Sherry, my love. Oh, I hate it. But Steve Perry's voice is like, I don't know. In my opinion, it's undeniably great. It's another one of those voices where it's iconic. You know immediately who it is when you hear it, and it like talk about vocal control and originality with vocals. He's a great vocalist. I'm not a huge Journey guy, but hey, Steve Perry's awesome.
Steve Perry was he's like a fucking angel.
The voice of an angel.
The voice of an angel. So this is going to be new for me because I thought that, well, I just didn't know because I'm not a big Journey fan. Don't Stop Believing and stuff like that. It was
Oh,
it was decent. I didn't know that he wasn't the original singer and that they had like 2 or 3 albums before him. Well,
yeah, there was three.
this will be complete greenhorn experience for me
Mhm.
because I didn't even know. Never thought to,
Yeah.
but this is one of these things we're going to discover all
Yep.
together.
Yay! Togetherness, everybody.
Yay.
Yeah, Journey is like, I remember as a kid in the '80s, guys weren't supposed to like Journey because they're gay if they like Journey, man. And like you're supposed to like Def Leppard back then and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. At least where I grew up. And if you like Journey, you got kind of ridiculed here and there. But secretly, like I couldn't. The song "Separate Ways" kind of kicked, man. That's kind of a cool song back then. And they had a lot of. When you look back, they have a lot of really good songs. And they're like now I've listened to it objectively over the years, and it's like they're like a guilty pleasure of mine. I sorry, call me gay all you want. I like Journey. I'm not a huge Journey fan, but and ever since they
Well,
found their new singer, the little Filipino guy they found on YouTube, he sounds phenomenally like Steve Perry. It's like what an imitation, but he's a good singer too. Anyway, I digress. I like Journey now.
yeah. So this will
I
be
don't know
an
about this one
interesting
though. We'll see.
this will be interesting for everyone involved here. And then to round it out with our third album, we're going to do Genesis with Peter Gabriel as their
Mm-hmm.
original lead singer, which is also going to be interesting because I have a love-hate relationship with Peter Gabriel himself. And when I had first heard that he was the first singer of Genesis, I was just like, wow, well, that's that's big news to me. If you didn't know that before and you got hit with that brick in the face, it's like it's, Selling England by the Pound, which was the first act. It was the second album, but it was the first one that reached the Billboard 200.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it had something going for it. We'll figure out what that is if if we can handle it. Um,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, if we can
I
hack it.
heard they were kind of eclectic and weird back then. You know, Peter Gabriel would wear like just a house dress with a fox mask or some shit like that, and like, what is it? Oh my God, it's this art shit again.
You're right.
Ugh,
Fucking art.
God. But
Art and music. Art has no place in music. Wait.
yeah. So we'll do all these bands that were
Yeah.
huge but had original singers when they weren't huge,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Peter
basically.
Gabriel one thing is I've known for a long time. He was their original lead singer, and Genesis was pretty freaking huge in the '80s too, man. And then Phil
Yeah.
Collins went solo. Holy crap, did Phil Collins blow up? Oh my god, man. The hit factory. Every album he put out was platinum,
No
multi plat. He
jacket
was
required. I swear they
Yep.
play the entire album on the radio at some point
Yeah.
or another, like
Face
every
Value,
single
same thing.
song.
Face Value was the same thing. Like every single song you heard. But yeah, he was huge. And then you know what actually might be another bonus challenge at some point is an offshoot of Genesis after Phil Collins left was their guitarist Mike, whatever his name, Mike and the Mechanics did an album.
Oh,
Um, yeah, yeah. So they had a singular hit. I forget what it is. It wasn't bad. It was very poppy back in the probably late '80s. But anyway, so that's another offshoot. That's another genre we can go after is offshoot bands. Guys want to
yeah,
form their own bands afterward, after the band already hit it big or fell apart.
yeah, yeah. Like,
So yeah, we'll see. Like back to the Journey thing real quick. Their guitarist Neil Schon is a really, really, really good guitarist. And he went off and did his own thing a little bit. Yeah, like dude just wants to rock. I mean, you can hear it in some of the Journey solos where he wants to go fast and loud and distorted. And they're like, dude, no, we're Journey. We're not fucking Iron Maiden, dude. We're not Metallica. Back away from yourself a little bit. I know you, and he's actually good friends with Sammy Hagar too. Turns out they're both from Northern California. So like, you're not with Sammy right now. We're Journey. Fucking play me a ballad, fucker. But Neil Schon went off and did some solo stuff too that never went anywhere. It was just poor guy, poor guy. But
yeah,
anyway, fuck, I take that back. Not poor guy. He's still the guitarist in Journey. He loves what he does. I'm sure he's filthy rich from it. But anyway, he was the guitarist back in the beginning. He's been there the whole time, so that'll be interesting to hear.
all right, all right.
But yeah, yeah. So yeah, Pink Floyd, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Genesis, Selling England by the Pound, and Journey.
Yeah, Journey, self-titled debut album. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
I know what we'll call it, guys. Journey. Fuck, that's brilliant. Oh,
So what are we gonna call the album?
yeah. I
Journey.
just said it. What?
Yeah.
I thought you said Journey. That's aren't. What are you talking about? They all
Uh,
do it. They all do it. Anyway, so all right, so that's what we got next week. Let's see what else. We're also going to bring out, guys. We're going to start doing some stuff for charity. We want to do stuff to help shelter animals. We'll have some up on the website the next couple of weeks to help you donate to ASPCA and maybe some other ones that we find, maybe some local ones around where we are, maybe some other national or global ones. We'll see. But we're going to start incorporating that in because we're both parents of rescue animals. I've got 4 here, and Blasto's got 3 there. And in our book, that's the only way to do it. No puppy mills allowed. No kitten mills allowed. No full breeds unless they're from a rescue. Anyway, we're gonna do that. We like animals more than we like people.
yeah. It's like, oh, your dog's got papers, so I found my cat in a trash can.
Yeah, amongst discarded papers.
Yeah, brought it home.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, man! I gotta. You know what else? I gotta find a way to adopt a raccoon legally here in California. I gotta have a pet raccoon, man. I gotta have one, but
They are
they're not
cool.
legal here.
They're
I'd love
such
to have
cool
one.
animals. That's why,
Yeah.
yeah, our merch store is open and we have a raccoon shirt and it's so cool. So um, go check that out. You know, show us some love. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Share it with anybody who's would vehemently disagree with us because we'd love to hear from it. And thank you to whoever put the request in the comments of our episode 1, I believe. There's some album I have never heard of the band and I've never heard of the album, so
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that will be a good one because we are reading all the comments. We are paying
Yep.
attention to you because without you, we're not doing this for anything. So, we're we appreciate that. So, and
Yeah,
all the hate
absolutely.
mail we can get, like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about with Genesis.
Yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. This is Kiss Army, huh? We're coming to get you. Okay,
Yeah,
Kiss Army. Come on, Kiss Army, knock it off. Let's level out, buddy. Level out.
yeah. Settle down now.
Okay,
But
boomer.
real quick, concert corner.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did. I went to see a show because a good friend of mine who I've been texting with him since his mom passed away and everything. A childhood friend, and he just sent me a thing of like Mudvayne playing live in Dubuque at the casino. Oh,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
yeah. Normally that's reserved for washed up people like Firehouse or you know,
Sinbad.
yeah, like so some of that kind of shit. But I was like, what? Okay, yeah, I'll bite. And Dubuque's not that far away. So, went up there, saw him, and oh, man. Okay, so it was the lineup was opening band Vended, Evended. Check them
Vended like the
out.
result.
Yeah, because my friend was like, "Oh,
Good.
you know what's gonna make you feel old is that two members are sons of two guys in the same band. Now, Chili, I'm going to see if you can just guess who this major band is that their
Or
fathers are
cry
in.
and realize I may cry instead, realizing how old I am, but go ahead.
Yeah, so these two sons are in the same band. Their fathers are in the same band, and one of the biggest metal acts of all time. And I'll give you a clue: lots of mouths to feed in the band.
Lots of mouths to feed in the band.
Lots.
Heavy metal, lots of mouths to feed? You stumped me. I'm not getting it, and I can waste all kinds
Slipknot.
of airtime. Oh,
Slip
really? Oh, wow.
Slipknot, yeah, they have 9 members.
I
But
should have gotten that.
yeah, that 2 of their sons are in the same band together, and they're
Wow.
becoming a thing, and they were really good.
And
Now
that's the
with
band Vended, you said?
yeah,
Yeah,
Vended,
Vended.
I don't know how you say it, but yeah, the Corey Taylor's son is the singer. Same
Oh, wow.
pipes, same
Wow,
pipes.
good.
He could just roar like a fucking lion. It was crazy, and he
Nice.
looks just like him too with the red hair, you know. And
I was gonna say, I thought you meant, like, with the mask. Same
no,
mask and everything.
no, they had he had his face painted like the Ultimate Warrior for some reason,
Oh,
which was weird, but okay, it's
yeah.
it was whatever, but impressive, very impressive. I wasn't sitting back just like yeah, these are nepo babies that you
Wasn't
know
like you went to see Lenny Kravitz and the Popolopes showed up.
yeah, yeah, it wasn't the popelopes. No, this was really good. And then Static X was up next.
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah.
love I love Static X.
Yeah, they're
For
cool.
some reason, I just love the industrial thing that they brought to the new metal.
Yeah.
And then Mudvayne at at the end. And
It's a pretty killer
the
show.
the great thing about it was that I'm starting to realize that with with the new venues and even old venues, the sound quality of seeing a live show is so much better than it used to
Mm,
be. I mean, this was crystal clear. Everything
wow.
was super crystal clear, and it was really enjoyable because I'm crippled, so I couldn't be in the pit or anything, but lots of Gen Z kids without their parents there, and they were
Nice.
going nuts and having a great time. There was crowd surfing. This is at a casino, even though it was
Yeah,
outside. It was out in the back parking lot or whatever, but
yeah.
damn, the crowd was going crazy, and the camaraderie amongst everybody there was I got 3 fist bumps because I wore the Dranzig shirt. Uh, and people were laughing. They just walked by, and I had like one lady walked by and she just gave me the evil eye, and then she gave me the whole speak to the hand thing. I was like, have you seen that dude lately? I don't think you're gonna go for him anymore, lady,
Right.
because he's fat and blowed out. But um, you know, eh, the
Tranzig.
with yeah, Dransig. Yeah, but with all the shit that's been going on lately, it, it with people gathering and the constant thing in the back of your mind that something bad could happen with this many targets here was like everything, especially when Mudvayne got on, because there's just been catastrophe after catastrophe for everybody in this country lately.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and he was just like this, and he was getting down with the crowd, and he was just like, "Do you got that person's back?" And they were like, and he was like, "Does everybody have everybody's back?" And I was just like, "What a cool thing to say."
yeah,
With the whole Charlie Kirk thing and
yeah, yeah.
the mass shootings, all they're just becoming just regular, and that's so fucking stupid, but it was like it was a great time, and the sound was great, and I just wanted to throw that out there and check out Vended. Fucking
Vended, I think. I would
Vended.
pronounce it vended. I might be wrong though, but Vended.
Yeah,
Like,
vended. Like,
yeah,
did you get dispensed from a vending machine?
yeah, been vended. They put
Yeah.
enough money in the machine, and I fell out the bottom. They hit J4, and I fell out of my little rack, and here we are. We're a band
But
or
yeah,
something.
the other kid, the drummer, is the son of Sean Crayon, which is the clown of
Yeah,
Slipknot.
yeah.
Like the craziest, wildest one that actually doesn't do any of the music, but definitely the one of the faces of the band is Clown, and his son was there, and I was just like,
Hmm.
that is just really, really pretty cool, and it makes me feel old as shit because I saw Slipknot when they first started.
They don't seem that old to me either.
Right? Like, how is their sons at
Yeah,
least in like their very late teens or early 20s? I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
that makes sense because Monkey is going to be 21 this year.
yeah. So's
You
mine.
know,
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
kind of like, what is this? But yeah, it was a great time. So I would highly suggest if there's a live show coming around, go see it because
Yeah, I
it's
agree. Go see. We do a lot of. I know a lot of guitarists, a lot of bands, and stuff like that. And I don't always get out to see them because they're not always local. They live in some other area. But whenever I get a chance, like one of the guys that plays our guitars was out down in the played. Oh, I mentioned last time they played the Viper Room. The guy's a guitarist for the band Thor, an old metal band from the 80s, kind of obscure, but he's a guitarist for them. We did a show. We did a show down at the Viper Room down there. My guitar tech, his son is a guitarist and vocalist for a death metal band, or bassist and vocalist for a death metal band. He's fucking incredible. Like, what a talent! And he was, I think he's like 15 last time when I saw him. Just played a local club here in town. Fantastic. But yeah, you're right. Going out to see live music, we've got to get back to that. We've got to get over the we got to remain vigilant, of course, not to be cliche, but getting over that something bad could happen. Oh, don't go into a crowd. Something bad could happen. Come on, man. Something bad could happen fucking anywhere. Like, we've got to remain a society that does things together. But put your fucking phones down, people, not to be preachy old guy, but put your fucking phones down. Go out and see a show and put your phone in your pocket at the show once in a while. You don't have to video everything. You're never going to go back and watch it. We all know that. You're
yeah,
gonna
and
watch the show. Be in the moment, man. Enjoy. I can't even tell you the amount of great concerts I've been to pre-cell phone days. I've seen BB King probably 10 times. I saw Sting live. I thought that was gonna suck. It was amazing. He's one of the best musicians I've ever seen. I had no expectations other than I'm gonna be like the youngest guy here. This is back in my 20s, and it was in his easy listening days. But it was amazing. I've seen like I said, the first concert I ever went to was Jeff Healey at the Warfield in San Francisco. Like 5,000 people, maybe. It
yeah,
was unbelievable. It was so great, man. I've seen so many great concerts, and it's better when you're there in the moment watching stuff. I've been in the pit at a cult concert of all things. Mentioned that last time. It's such a great experience to just enjoy the music. If you play an instrument, watch the guy that plays the guitar, or whatever, if you're a guitarist. Watch the drummer if you're a drummer. Pay attention to what they do and learn some stuff. Like, you will pick up some shit. No matter who you watch, you'll pick up some. Unless you go see the Violent Femmes, then you can probably get on stage and show them a few things. But whatever. Just kidding. Go see the Violent Femmes too. Go watch them. Hey, support the Violent Femmes. They're doing their
yeah.
thing, man.
If
Whatever. Go
if
watch them.
they are throwing a show, just go just for the comedic, you know, portion of it.
Yeah,
Just like, this is gonna suck so bad, it's gonna be
yeah,
awesome.
I'm gonna
You know?
love this. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
and
watch it like watching a comedy show.
and especially metal shows. I mean, I've never ever seen like anybody I've seen a fist fight or two, and I've been to a lot of metal shows. It's not
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it's about. If somebody
yeah,
starts a fist fight, it's generally the music will stop. And they'll be like, "Hey,
yeah,
fucking knock it off. Get out of here."
yeah. Somebody beat his ass and drag him out.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah, like
continue.
take
Yeah,
them
yeah,
out. They're like Maynard said, throw that Bob Marley wannabe motherfucker out of here. And the camaraderie was great, and just the
absolutely.
overwhelming, the volume of the music is awesome too. I mean, I might be preaching to the choir, but if you've ever seen a live show, it can overwhelm you emotionally. It's just like it took my breath away a couple of times, and these aren't my favorite bands,
Right,
but
right.
it was still an amazing time. And I'm set to go see Blue October in November, and that's just like they were a one-hit wonder, but man, they deserve a lot more. I'm just plugging them because shit, they're good, really, really good. So, um, and I've seen them live before, and it took my breath
Yeah.
away too. It was just like, Jesus, this is so awesome. And but yeah, concert corner. If you or I get to see a show, we got to talk about it because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
It's funny you
you
say,
know,
like, you'll see, a band that kinda takes your breath away. For me, it's I'll frequently, because I play guitar, I'll watch the guitarist, and I'll come away from the concerts a lot of time thinking, "I'm never gonna pick up my guitar again.
right?
I'll never play like that. I don't have the ambition to play that well. I don't have time to practice 12, 14 hours a day. I'm just gonna stop because there's
Yeah.
no point. I'll never be as good as that. There's a guy down in Redondo Beach. I used to see him. Rich Harper, the Rich Harper Blues Band. I'll plug him too. I think he's still touring. He used to tour around like Europe and stuff like that. But anyway, he and I became friends. He played this little shitty bar, Naja's on the Redondo Beach Pier. And I don't want to say shitty. It's actually a really cool place. It's right on the pier, right on the water. And they have 77 different beers on tap. And they have the big, tall fucking glasses.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
man, back in the day, I could tell you. But anyway, this guy Rich he'd be on there. They had a regular cover band played every Friday, Saturday night, and then Saturday afternoons. One day, Steve and I go after work, grab a beer, and this guy is playing to like 15 people in this bar, and we're like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Oh, that's a guy from the cover band." And then he starts playing a BB King song. Like, oh, dude, you can't cover BB King. And they nailed it. And then he did a Stevie Ray Vaughan song. We're like, you come on now. And he
Whoa.
nailed that. And so I talked to him afterward. And he's just one of these guitarists, just unbelievably gifted, man. So good. And then he went off and did tours around Europe and stuff, and ended up moving back to Pennsylvania to be with his parents. So they were getting old and decrepit and all that. But so, yeah, when you want, but I watch guys like that play, and I think, man, I'm just gonna stop. I can't even. I'll never be that good. I'm just gonna stop. I'm as good as I'm ever gonna get. Whatever. I'm just gonna stop
Yeah.
playing. But I still
It it
play.
it it can also reinvigorate. Watching those bands was just like, man, if only like Violent Vendetta could have taken off or something like that. I mean, just to be an opening act for Static X would make me just like
That'd be fun.
wanted. Okay, I can die now because that was
Mission accomplished.
that was totally awesome. Like I made it,
Yeah.
or whatever. But and I'm not big into the new metal stuff, but I was thoroughly impressed, even with Mudvayne, because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can get pretty fruity, and their bass player, um, yeah, their bass player Ryan Martini. Watch him sometime
Yeah.
because he's a slap bass beast.
Oh, I love
And
that.
oh my God, he can play that bass. It's just like, oh, this whole show just amazing. And my friend had an equally good time. He was hooting and hollering, and it was just great. It was and just being out around people, and we were all fearless, and we're all
Yeah.
like, nothing's gonna stop us from having a good time. So all you trolls and pieces of shit out there, fuck you, because we're
That's
gonna
right.
still keep going out and having fun, and we're not going to be stopped.
Goddamn right.
So uh, that's what I got to say about Concert Corner. So if even
Agree
even
100%.
a local live show, we'll talk about it
Yep.
because I'll plug. anybody who's got the balls to get up on a stage and play, and it just as long as the music's loud and they're halfway good, I'm happy, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And that goes back to what we talked about with the violent femmes, not to keep beating them up. But think of it this way: they're confident enough to get up on stage and play their fucking music, where a lot of you guys aren't. They're doing it, and it worked out for them. Go see them. Hey, maybe
As
I'll go check them out someday.
as much as I hate their album, I would totally go see them live just to say that I did. You know, like because hey, you know, that might be in certain companies like, well, I saw the Violent Femmes once. What?
Yeah, yeah. I love
Wow.
those guys.
Oh
Yeah,
man, that is so blister in the sun.
yeah, yeah. You ever heard of Pavement?
Oh yeah, Pavement who? I
Yeah.
sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Those guys suck. Sincerely, Cake. Anyway,
Hey, Going the Distance is one of my favorite songs too. I
yeah, that's a cool song. I do like that song. Yeah. Down, out, down, out. Yeah, yeah. Boy. All right, man. Well, let's wrap this shit up. Hey, everyone, go check us out. Like, subscribe, share. Go donate to charity. If you don't like the charities we put up on the site, donate to whatever charity you want. It's all about giving. Not to be cliche, but if you give, you get. So go donate to your charity. We recommend helping pets more than people because, like George Orwell said, two legs bad, four legs good. So, so agree with him.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So, all right, so now we've got to go listen to Pink Floyd Piper at the Gates of Dawn with Sid Barrett, Genesis Selling England by the Pound with Peter Gabriel, and Journey without Steve Perry.
Right.
We're gonna give it a go, baby. We're gonna give it a go. See how it
Yeah.
goes.
It's going to be another rough week.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. If this doesn't go well, I'm gonna have Rick Springfield go kick Steve Perry's ass. Ah,
An 80s
yeah,
slap fight.
yep. Rick Springfield, Steve Perry, get in the ring.
Yeah, no hair pulling, guys.
Yeah.
No, you
Okay,
want
someone can.
to.
Oh man, sing at each other. Something.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know. All right, man. All right, everyone in Internet Land, thanks for showing up. Enjoy the podcast. Like, subscribe, share, blah blah blah, all the cliche stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Adios, kids.
Later.